Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
And with that, folks, we're back. Welcome to Starladder. We have a game 2 between HellRaisers and Golden Boys. I'm as surprised as you are. I'm not 100% sure of what's going on. I had asked the admins, and I haven't gotten an update on the exact rules that apply. It doesn't look like we have any penalty time either. So this will just be game 2 between HellRaisers and Golden Boys. Golden Boys at a 1-game advantage. I'm Llama Down Under. This is Starladder. I'm joined by PQMZ. What do you think they need to do differently this time for HellRaisers other than not have a DC for most of the game?
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, I don't know if he tilted or he got DC'd. It's really weird. And sorry about the background noises. I just bumped something on my desk. I bumped my tea. It's the dogs here again for HellRaisers. Very comfortable hero for them.
5 seconds remaining of pain. Radiant team pick.
Winter Wyvern.
Dire team pick.
Spirit Breaker.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Yeah, Quap right now is a really in-demand hero. She's banned or picked. I think she's the most banned or picked hero. She doesn't actually have a spectacular win rate, but I think that also just comes with when everybody's picking you, like, at least 50% of the time people are losing, so you can't have one of those, like, 84% win rates ridiculousness or whatever, but anyway, not important. Yeah, unless you're Doom. I think he only has 63, though, which is still ridiculous, guys. Only 63 in quotes, by the way. But we got a bunch of picks. Again, the Disruptor band, making sure that both Doxier and Spiritbreaker have a great time. And HellRaiser's strat looks very similar, except this time they don't have the Wyvern.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
100%. Later on in the game, it gets a little bit nice, arguably, because it gives you the vision for a potential gank, even though Quap is blinking around. And as you said, you can't disjoint it with just the blink. At the same time, it is rough to be a Spirit Breaker here, just because if you go on the Wyvern as well, she can just cold embrace herself and then not have to worry too much about what you're dishing out for at least a bit until the game progresses. So Dogs here, though, gonna be a counter to that. And the Templar Assassin ban out. I guess worried about Appa Ninja on that hero.
Dire team pick.
Starladder.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, and HellRaisers, there is no Lich picked yet, but HellRaisers or a Dazzle, that's what I think is almost more surprising. The fact that Dazzle has made it all this way. Golden Boys can go for it, but then their support combo isn't that great for killing, right? You've got a Wyvern and a Dazzle. I guess you can Arctic Bone Poison Touch them to death.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, and we've also got... I'm trying to think of another strong support. A lot of teams prioritize Bane. I haven't seen either of these players. It wasn't really on their Dota buffs as a big pick. But then again, both of these teams don't have a bunch of games on this patch. It's certainly something where Golden Boys, you can easily set up a kill. Well, not so easily, but you can generally set up a kill with Juggernaut and Bane together. It's not the hardest of things. But instead of Witch Doctor.
Dire team pick.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Totally
5
agreed.
seconds
Now,
remaining.
Slaughter, Spirit Breaker, Doxia, Golden Boys already has the Jug. Is there an
Reserve
offlaner
time.
that'll help do some work against them? Do you just try for a clockwork? And we've actually been seeing Magnus a lot. It's a bit greedy, as you said, but you could maybe run the Quap on the offlane, run the Mag mid, and then, of course, you have to maybe itemize your Jug a bit differently. Maybe you don't even bother with that. You just say, hey, he's going to go standard build, and we'll group him up for a Queen of Pain, Winter's Curse, and, of course, Witch Doctor can get some nice bounces into a Death Ward.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah.
Radiant
Now, HellRaisers
team
is
pick.
banning out the Beastmaster. Apparently, that's a hero they don't want to deal with, and I can understand it. Certainly is decent lockdown for Windrunner. Of course, Windrun blocks physical attacks, but not physical damage, so you can still throw axes through. But it's going to be the Clockwork for Golden Boys, like we talked about, and the Bane. We also mentioned him for HellRaisers. Kind of funny, because it really isn't something they've been picking a lot of, but also HellRaisers don't have a bunch of games on this patch, so it's not like we have a million stats for them either way. And with that, we'll be headed into a game 2. I have no idea what to expect. I wasn't expecting a game 2, so... Exactly. We're already exceeding expectations, guys, and I hope you folks watching at home or wherever you are. I imagine most people watch from home, but I certainly know quite a few people throw up Twitch on their second monitor at work, depending on their job. I hope you're enjoying. Oh yeah, it was
10 seconds remaining.
my office is like pretty chill, but just because I work
5 seconds remaining.
I worked in an open-ish area, and I never used to watch anything, but then like during TI4 I was like watching the group stages, and my boss is just like, are you playing a game? And I'm like, no, excuse me, I'm watching. But like all the other people do it, it's just she'd never seen me do it, and so suddenly she's like, what are you doing? Are you working? And I'm like, yes, you can see the PowerPoint on the other screen. Goddamn has DC'd. And with that, I'm actually...
He was fine last game, so...
Okay. Oh, let's not talk about last game. Let's do not mention its hallowed name in these grounds. Either way, let's quickly get around to introducing Golden Boys. We've got maybe next time on the Wyvern. He normally plays heroes that die a lot. He plays a lot of Spirit Breaker and Earthshaker, actually, so I'm interested to see him on the Wyvern. Thug on the Queen of Pain, who's headed out bottom, but not sure if she's just poking around saying hello to the racks down here. We've got Skanks on that Witch Doctor. Clockwork going to be played up by Skylark, which of course leaves us Kaiser on the Juggernaut. That's where it used to be Kaiser.
And over for HR, we've got the Goddamn on the Bane, Yujitsu on the Spirit Breaker, Satchlo on the Darkseer as a repeat performance, Live O on the Starladder, and Afro Ninja on the Winner. Goddamn is obviously having some kind of settings or some Dota reborn issues.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We've got a bunch of stout shields because of all these melee heroes. Oh, was he writing something?
I think
like
they're just
almost
doing weird drawings.
Gotta keep yourself awake. I know I'm chugging tea like mad.
Yeah, I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. I'll have to try to swap my sleep schedule around to get awake for these games.
It's always fun. It's a bit early for me, but the main issue was that I couldn't sleep last night because I think I slightly food poisoned myself because I'm really smart, but that's what happens. You know, it happens to the best of us. You know, this is actually kind of pretty.
Actually.
Oh my goodness, I
guess I'm not one of the best then.
When you travel to another country and they tell you do not drink the water, and you drink the water, but then you're fine, so you think it's safe because like you drank the water the first time, so clearly you're immune to whatever happens. No. I got wrecked the fourth time I drank the water, so I've had some pretty awful stuff happen. But no, you were saying about probably not the colors.
Skills.
Oh no, yeah, I actually think it's really nice. It's like some weird, probably highly expensive avant-garde painting.
Yeah, but they're obviously doing it for reasons that they don't want people to watch the stream, see where the heroes are going, especially where this ward happens to be. And they're constantly covering it up. And when they covered the entire map, like, that was pretty good. It's not easy to cover the entire map. I've tried multiple times with my team before. Go. These are legit drawings.
Can you just wait? What did I miss some? Oh, I did.
Yeah, it was just faces.
I was trying to get an update from the admin because I'm shameless like that.
Why is it shameless?
Oh, because I should be focusing on the cost, but I'm just trying to figure out what on earth is going on because I want to know. Also, we've seen all their effigies and none of them are beautiful, and so.
Effigies suck in Reborn. It needs to get fixed. So casters have something to talk about. Players have EP when they get commended, you know? Has to watch something.
Yeah, definitely. I can tell more stories.
So where did you go to that got food poisoning?
So I got food poisoning. So it's questionable. I don't know if I should tell that story. I have a story of how I vomited in front of like 1,000 people, but that's just llama things. But yeah, I got
vomit when they eat too much grass or something.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much how it went down. It was really embarrassing, but it's not the best of stories, and yeah, it's a curse for the fact that when I was younger, I used to have really unfortunate incidents because I would eat too much, but that is neither here nor there. And of course, by younger, I mean only like 6 years ago.
So not when you were a kid.
No, I did when I was a kid, when I was very young, because I'm technically lactose intolerant, but like nobody told me. So we go to the doctor, right? And we go to the doctor. We go to Dr. Tay. My mom talks to Dr. Tay, and they don't speak in English because that's what my mom likes to do. And then I'm like, oh, what's wrong? Because I've been having a bit of trouble, you know? I've been getting a bit sick. And my mom tells me, oh, when you drink milk, you get whooping cough. Which, if you know what whooping cough is, it makes no sense, that what she just said. But I'm like 4 or 5, so I'm like, yeah, what's whooping cough? And so I just believe when I drink milk, I get a really bad cough, which sometimes leads to me vomiting. Like, this happens. It's fine. And then I get older, and I still think I can eat cheese and milk products because like nobody's told me I'm lactose intolerant. It's just that sometimes you get whooping cough from milk. So like I never drink pure milk, and I didn't really eat yogurt, but I'd try to eat melted cheese and stuff, and I'd get these horrible stomach aches and so on. But I'd just be like, whatever, this happens because like it's my life, so I thought it happens to everyone. And then I'm like 11 or something, and it's like, yeah, you're lactose intolerant, you idiot.
Your parents deserve like redemption for that. Oh, they need to do some redemption.
Yeah,
for that.
no.
That's really bad.
They trolled me. Yeah, it's good. Let's see who wins. Crosses?
No one's gonna win.
Yeah, no one can win now. Well, GG.
Do you know the noughts and crosses?
Yes, it's to cheat. You play twice.
No, most people you actually can beat really easily if they don't. Counterpart in the middle.
So
and
we're good to
just go like X's in each corner like this. And then if they don't go in the middle, you've got the double option. It only works if you go first. My hobby when I was in school. I'm glad. Crosses with people instead of actually learning shit.
I'm glad you are a noughts and crosses expert because I'm not. At least you say noughts and crosses. All the Americans around here say tic-tac-toe, and I'm like, that makes no sense. There aren't even 3 things, guys. So
exactly.
Yeah. We don't have any.
Butchering our language and our games, everything.
Yeah, Americans. Something I can say and act like I am not one of them for right now. Now, I don't see any particularly interesting pickups. I'm very interested to see how this game ends up shaping out, because I do feel like HR, yeah, they've got the Slaughter and the Windrunner, but Queen of Pain Jug, certainly something that can deal out a lot of damage, and especially if Queen of Pain optimizes for something, she might go Aghanim Sheep, although this game I'm probably expecting an Orchid first, if she gets decent farm. You can certainly do well against a Windrunner with an Orchid or a Sheep.
I think it's just going to be a normal pot game where they end up going like the Orchid, as you said, maybe into an AC or a BKB.
Yeah.
However, I would much prefer the Ag throughout the game because I think HR are going to try and fight like every time Blink rushes up, which is pretty much every seconds. Which is also in line with Qualifier when the Ag upgrade comes out, so they can fight like so regularly. It's insane, and GB are going to have to play around that because they're also quite locked down at the start of the game.
Maybe
To
next
get their
time.
items.
Wants to kill up this courier, has actually smoked for it, is expecting it to come back to mid lane, and I'm seeing a courier going down. The Arctic Bone's going to be popped 1, 2, and that is a dead courier. Getting dire courier, unfortunately not before the first delivery, but that was just a salve, so it's going to be all right.
He's going to die for it, I think, but that maybe not. Coming out and he's any help from the Windrunner, but that's a really nice play.
Yeah,
Not something you expect.
Yeah, it comes out much more often when the Wyvern is on the Dire, because it's... Thug is actually going super deep. He may get wrapped around here. I don't know whether he realizes there are a lot of HR in the area, and Thug now... He might take a shackle if he's not careful. No, she doesn't have it skilled up. She can't get the angle. Power shot does latch, but Thug is going to just salve up and walk away, although Jitsu, he's got bash level 1, so Thug not having to be too worried, although Blink does have 15-second cooldown, so he may have to be a little bit wise with how he jumps here, and yeah, he's gonna walk as far as he can to make sure he gets out. So really funky early engagement there, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think it's particularly favourable for either side. Maybe for the runner, I guess, because you use double blink, but still ahead in the old. But
Yeah.
due to the courier kill, which is gonna help her out a lot if she gets
And-
bottled first.
Skylark, he's gonna pop up the salve. As long as Slaughter, yeah, he's gonna be fine. I thought he was actually gonna go down there, but using the salve pop, gonna make it work out just fine, and bless you. So,
Don't mind if I do.
I reach in the top as well, so Windrunner's gonna be able to secure that with the Bane.
that's pretty nice. Feels good to be a Windrunner here.
Yeah.
She's very...
It's just so annoying when you trade like that early and someone just comes back full mana, full HP.
Yeah, you need to move your mic closer after your sneeze. I think you moved it away because you didn't want to sneeze into the microphone, and now you're all...
I get punished for trying to do the correct things,
Yeah.
you know? My bad, my bad.
You're just gonna sneeze loud and proud. We'll
maybe I should
make-
just mute my mic instead of moving it away, but that's
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
more effort. I'm not used to
Yeah.
muting my mic.
Yeah,
I don't
I do
care when
that,
people hear
actually.
me cough. TeamSpeak.
I move it, but either way, we've got a pretty even mid matchup. Juggernaut is topping the CS chart on bottom, but he's taking quite a bit of harass from the Ion Shell. Although Jug a hero that's better able to adapt to it, I say, as he pops up the healing ward. So he's not too concerned about this Ion Shell. Although he might get run down maybe a bit later by Shaklo, but Shaklo being forced back to base early on.
It's also so nice to be a support when you don't have to worry about the hits that you're trading. He's got a Jug that just heals you up. Nice.
Now we've got 3 of them rotating bottom. There's no ward here that sees any of this. Looks like it was dewarded earlier. And Shaklo, he does have Surge, so I don't know how much trouble he'll be in. Maybe next time, though, is the one who's in a lot of it, needs to use that Arctic Bone. Is the Splinter Blast going to come out on anyone? They're actually trying to go in on Yanjitsu, and that is the easier target, but he's just going to charge away. He actually charges. No, the Kalsk stopped him. This should be our first blood if they can catch up, but can they? He's got 6 more seconds and no mana for that charge, and with the Maledict sealing the deal, Shaklo as well going to be taking bit more harass. So a really nice kill for the lineup of Golden Boys. Seeing if they can get some early farm and maybe seal this out.
Really fortunate that with Cask. I think he was going to be fine if he just charged away to like every on the map.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Windrunner used a shot in the lane and ended up getting the sleep on the clockwork. He would have just died straight up.
Yeah. It's something where the power shot with the... I can't remember when the range has always been pretty big, and I believe a few patches back it got increased, or maybe I'm crazy, but the range is huge.
You're right.
And it's something where you can definitely see people sniping others from the rune. Windrunner's gonna go down. The one more auto attack should do it. Thug should be fine here, or will she? She's got a haste. I don't know if Spirit Breaker wants to dive this deep, and he'd need lucky bashes to make this latch. I don't know if Thug knows.
You go for this, sure.
Oh my goodness. Thug is going to be able to have Blink up in 3. Can you get the bash? One more auto attack would do it, and they get the kill. Yes, Jujitsu goes down, but it's totally worth it. I think it's worth it for a number of reasons. 1, you got a big gold bounty. 2, he just got a bunch of experience considering where the Spirit Breaker has been playing.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah,
is under attack.
and on top of that, it's just more time Quap's off the map as well. So you're never going to complain about that. Maybe you might complain a tiny bit about being in their base, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. Now they're going to give it another go into Shocklow. He does have Surge that he can use up. He's actually surging forwards, and the Coconuts, will they bounce back to him? They do. Unlucky bounces. Shocklow is going to go down. So another kill for Kaiser, and things really looking good for Golden Boys in this laning phase. Oh, as Slaughter goes down in top as well. Missing out on that one. Looks like Thug just came up for the gank and gets level 6 off the back of it.
Yeah, not having a lane ward top, they just placed it and it's out of range of the sentry, so unfortunately a tiny bit late. Really heads up play from the Quap going top after Shied. Gonna have to use the ultimate show combine with the Clockwork to get a kill on the Windrunner as well. Just decides to leave the lane. He might just stay up here and keep pressuring the Starladder.
Yeah, I don't see it as a big problem there. Stopping the Slaughter from getting the early Blink Dagger or Skylock is going to fall here. Charge just to make sure he's continually illuminated and it'll get pulsed to something else. Something else we didn't mention about each other, running a core position Slaughter. And it looks like he's going a Vanguard first.
Could just be some sustain in the lane to deal with it. Cogs plus rocket spam. See the Vanguard for sure, but maybe he gets enough gold to get the blink.
Yeah, FNG is getting body blocked. Thug is thinking about using that Sonic Wave, but they managed to get off the stun, and now Thug is blown up, and maybe next time he's in a horrible position. I don't know if there'll be follow-up. There should be Cogs coming out. Skylock, actually, I think he wanted someone in there with him, and he hookshots to the creep wave, trying to go up to FNG, but he might be punished for this on the backlines. Wyvern illusion, but not doing enough, and Shocklow suddenly here. What is going on in this mid lane? Craziness. Kaiser's like, hey guys, I got an Omni Slash, but he's got to get someone isolated, and it's level 1. I don't even know if he can kill off Shocklow here. So suddenly we have everybody except for the Slaughter chillaxing in mid lane and not getting anything done for the lineup of Golden Boys.
That was just really nice bait, HellRaisers. You blink forward, you Shadow Strike the Windrunner, you try and body block Windrun, then you ulti and he dies, but they know exactly what's going to happen. Fed the supports in the right place at the right time. Block ends up wasting the hooked walls, so really favourable trade for HR.
Yeah, and really well done for them there. So helping themselves to get back into this game. Just because of the early kills from Golden Boy, they're a little bit ahead, but experience is even. And this gold lead, it's nothing to write home about. Anybody can turn around a 1,000 gold lead early on. So they're going for another kill on bottom. I'm a little bit surprised Shocklow hasn't dropped another ward to kind of see these ganks incoming, but instead they have that one. And Appa Ninja might just have a Thug engagement coming out here. We've got a Rocket also seeing up the regen rune, and suddenly Appa Ninja has been bottom for quite a while.
I don't think it's a problem. He's at least farming the lane, and Dax is testing his left sits at all. I don't think they'll be able to get a kill down here though, so he's going to have to waste a bit of time running back to mid.
Yeah, I think they were hoping that Jiu-Jitsu would be able to do something coming out of the trees here, maybe charge on someone, but just no such luck. At the very least, as you said, lost hits were occurring for the Windrunner, and goddamn now having an opportunity to get some farm in mid, so always good to make sure that your supports get early timings on those level 6.
It's especially important on the Bane this game, I feel like. He can so much on his own, because all of his cores are fairly good at capitalizing on a tiny bit of lockdown. Windrunner has plenty of damage. Slarddar's actually got a surprising amount of damage early, especially when you don't have too much armor. Breaker can always be there as well, so put a lot of pressure on the Quap. Kind of the only hero that can do that.
Yeah, it's one of those games where Quap again is in a pickle. We see this a lot. You want to skill out your damage spells, aka a couple points in Shadow Strike, and then of course maxing out the Scream of Pain. But you need points in Blink just because you will be punished for not being mobile enough. And is Shocklow just going to steal? Yeah, he's going to try to steal some creeps. Nice little play there. Trying to work on getting these stacks, but as the Queen of Pain, having the 15-second cooldown on the Blink, oh goodness, the hook shot by Skylock off the mark, and goddamn's gonna get away. That must be frustrating.
That was pretty far off the mark as well, so can't even say it was close, unfortunately. Which is what I should be getting, honestly. First one where they all kind of TP'd in mid, it was an ambiguous attempt, but that one was a free kill. But on those, it helps so much.
We've got Slaughter killing off the Winter Wyvern while we have an engagement potentially about to happen down bottom. Not sure if Clockwork's going to be caught out here.
Kill him.
Even
Maybe I'll be
with
proved wrong.
Surge Ion Shell, yeah, they could definitely go for a charge. They've popped up the Soul Ring. I think you put the Ion Shell onto Yujitsu, although maybe a miscommunication because he wasn't going back in there. He needs to just bash on Skylark, and now he's isolating him with the Battery Assault. Oh, and he has a DD in his bottle. Skylark, he's going to try to catch up. They've got to slow out onto Yujitsu. They should be able to do this with enough damage. The stun stopping the charge, and Yujitsu is just going to fall, trying to give it over to the Quap. One more auto attack will do it, and there is that kill. Took a really long time, and it ended up not being on the hero we thought it would be, but getting
That
it
was
done.
really awkward. They were just
Yeah.
like dancing back and forth, not really sure who's to go there.
Oh, a hook shot. And a
To a
pause.
pause.
This game in general is a little bit awkward. And Quap
Yeah.
is lagging. Yeah.
Well, it's too hard to just put RNE here, so I think the pulse can wait, right?
Hmm. Yeah, it's really awkward though. This is not. Oh, okay. Now we've got to go.
Really bad mannered as well, even though like whenever anything happens as well, you're instantly gonna pause. Doesn't matter when it is. If a throne's dying or if you're in the middle of a huge fight, if something's working, you pause. No matter how fortunate it is.
So, probably going to see Ninja go down here. She does have the Windrun pop. They have a lot of damage. They managed to land the Shackle onto Skylark, doing a lot of damage there. The Coconut's coming out from the other side now. Sonic Wave ends up finishing off Windrun. And can they get any follow-up kills, or will Skylark be the one going down? He's tanking tower. Someone needs to take this aggro off of him. Maybe Skylark himself finally gets it off. The Mojo help, or the Voodoo Restoration helping, not Mojo. Yujitsu finally gets the kill there. Thug manages to kill off the Bane. Maybe they could go on to Slaughter, and we see Jug wanting to do Omni Slash, but maybe he's just going to use that on you. Yujitsu, yeah, I think Yujitsu. Oh, gonna charge away, but Omni Slash following him. Getting those slashes off. Gonna be the end of that. So a big win for Golden Boys.
I feel like HR had a really small window to turn around, and Goddamn was doing the right thing. He was trying to sleep as soon as it was off there, but it just kind of became a cancel animation. And I think they both knew exactly what was happening. When you end up cashing out a hero and they're in 1v1, it's really easy to take a faithful engagement.
Yeah.
You're doing a really good job, like controlling the pace of this game.
Slaughter has picked up his Vanguard though, and he's gonna get harder and harder to kill.
Really late Vanguard though.
Yeah, it's a bit question. It's interesting. It's definitely maybe not as early as you wanted, although his CS, it's rough on Slaughter. Yeah, you can definitely get lost hits in lane and everything, but you're not a hero who farms up the jungle or anything. You're never gonna do what a Jug can do. You don't have a healing mechanism. You don't generally go lifesteal on a Slaughter. It's just a bit awkward. So, not sure what.
Farm's not too bad, but he needs to evolve, and I guess the Vanguard's his way of doing that. Especially with the way this game's been going, he's not enough to just go in with a blink.
Oh, the coconuts are gonna bounce and bounce back again. Shakla goes down. Doesn't matter if you shackle Skylark, and maybe they can find something else here. Although with Hookshot being down, it gets very rough. And Ninja does have an Invis and Windrun. We'll see what else this fight can lead to. Skylark getting charged from the sides. So here comes the Slaughter. They get a shackle on two. Can they finish them off? They use the Slithering Crush on Thug though, and I think this indecision of who to go on is gonna cost them. Skanks goes down using the Fiend's Grip, but suddenly It's Live is taking a lot of damage. But Kaiser, he is being gone on. Can they finish the deal on him? Power Shot kills him off. Thug is shackled up again, and now stand-in It's Live is going to be seeing where he can get off a big Slithering Crush. Unfortunately on cooldown for 2 seconds. I think that should be the end of this.
I think they can keep going.
Oh, goddamn, thinking about it. There's a beautiful shackle that could latch it instead. The Power Shot all over the place. Thug is being gone on as well. A little bit surprised. They managed to kill off the Wyvern. Queen of Pain kills off the Spirit Breaker. Skylark, will he get the TP out? They're gonna go for the Slithering Crush to finish him off, and now Windrunner is very low. This team fight, what is going on? Thug is going to be chased down. He should get Slithering Crushed here. Or can Thug blink away in time? He manages to use the screen. He dodges the Slithering Crush, but these auto attacks might be enough, and they get him with one last auto attack. And now back comes in. They managed to get, I think Maledict missed everyone. Yeah, so I think this will finally be the end of the engagement, even though Omni Slash is back off cooldown. What was that? What just happened there?
Typical Russian Dota, I think.
Golden Boys is
Okay,
Greek.
Yeah, but HellRaisers Russian, right? So
Yeah, so
ends up being favourable for them in the end as well, despite the Windrunner going down. fine. Starladder got a lot of money. When you look at Tread's Vanguard Wand at 12 minutes, you're thinking, my card's not too good, but then you've got 1700 gold at 14 minutes, you're like, yeah, this game's up all of a sudden. You're quite happy, I think.
Yeah, as you said, he's suddenly very close to his Blink Dagger, and he just really wasn't, to put it bluntly. So, doing really well there on the Slaughter. Now, looking at some quick items, we do see Quap, she is going for that Orchid. I think it just makes a lot of sense against a Windrunner, right? You get the Orchid off, Windrunner can't really just Windrun away, just take your auto attacks and the rest of your damage, and then of course the Soul Burn. Oh, they're just focus firing Skylark. They don't make the Shackle latch, but we've got mass TPs and they Winter's Curse on Alpha Ninja. Will this be enough? They're gonna use the Splinter Blows to hit both of them. We got Coconuts and it bounces. Well played. They're gonna get one. They're gonna get two, and this is a good team fight for Golden Boys, and well done.
Yeah, it's maybe a tiny bit overcommitment having everyone TP. I think they definitely have just done it with 2 or 3 as opposed to 4. But it's really good that they managed to get that. Time that you can get something from what HR do, I think quite happy with it. More pauses coming out.
Yeah, I think
Running low on time.
everybody's got to be running low on time, and I don't know. I feel like if they rotate all these heroes up, they have to go for the tower push. It might end up being a trade looking around the map, because bottom tower is very low while this is a full health tower top. But of course, picking off the Windrunner, picking off the Spirit Breaker, both good kills.
I think they'd be fine with the tower trade, honestly. Especially as the Sliders blink is... guess I'll have a feeling it's close after the team fight went fairly well bottom. But once he gets this, that will be when HR like really up the tower. GB get like 1 or 2 items or just enough levels to be able to deal with that. It's gonna be like hard for HellRaisers.
Dire's top tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
Well,
I
I'm
agree.
such a fan of the Orchid as well. I guess you animation. Right, in the animation you can silence Orchid. That's kind of hard to do, gonna lie. And Orchid just makes you so squishy.
Radiant's bottom.
Yeah, it's something where this Queen of Pain we saw down bottom, she had the amp damage on her, she took like 2 auto attacks and fell. And it's something, as we talked about, now she's maxing out the blink. We've got charges coming out. They have a decent amount of lockdown on HR. They've got Slithering Crush, they've got Charge, Nether Strike, Fiend's Grip, and Shackle, of course, being that super long stun if it latches, so... A nice tower trade. Both teams, I think, happy to walk away with that without more bloodshed. But Slytherin Man has his Blink Dagger up. That's going to be the big item pickup of now.
Yeah, DD Rune for the Windrunner as well. This is one chance they have to go into Roche, I guess, but kind of risky, not knowing if there's any wards around and fight around the pits. Good.
And we have another Battle Fury Jug. This has been something we've been seeing pop up time and time again. I don't know if this game is going to go late enough for it to work, but of course, if you think that you can force the enemies to group up, which maybe melee heroes will be doing a bit more as they're focusing a target, you can certainly get off... Oh, another missed hook shot coming out of Skylark. You can certainly use that Battle Fury to get extra... The auto attacks in between Omni Slash will cleave. Oh.
Like a clear game plan coming out from GB. They wanted to fight early into HR. Jug wouldn't be going for Battle Fury, Quap wouldn't be going for Orchid. They want to play the farm game, split up the map, use exactly what they did top. If someone dies split pushing, then they TP in, maybe get 1 or 2 turn kills. I like that. So it's nice that they have their game plan.
Yep. Fortunately, not so nice that we have another pause coming up. So,
This series is destined to be serious.
it's also unfortunate because I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do coverage-wise. If HR wins this game, we're in a bit of trouble. Just
Guessing
because...
the game would get postponed, right? Because of casters being in this one. Which
Yes
really
and no.
sucks from
The
a
next
player
set
perspective.
can't get postponed because Liquid has 2 in a row. So it's like We have
Yeah,
Liquid
but then the
versus
third
CIS
game
and then
would
Liquid
naturally be
versus... Oh, you mean this
postponed.
third game? Yeah, we might end up just jumping over to the other set if that happens. I'm not quite sure what is the preferred course of action for Starladder, but we certainly do not, to my knowledge, have 2 English casters ready to go at this point in time. So,
I know
either way,
Starladder hate being delayed. They're like one of the most avid, not companies, tournaments about like everything starting on time.
Yeah. But looking around, we've got Windrunner, as you said, working on her Aghanim Scepter. I'm just doing item roundup. Let's see if there's anything interesting. We've already talked about the Blink Dagger. Mech is finished on Doc Seer, and he will probably blink next. He could also just finish, yeah, maybe Guardian Greaves as well because of the silence on Queen of Pain.
All decent options, I suppose. Force against the clock, really good. It's also decent against if someone gets silence out. You don't necessarily have to purge it. You can just walk it away, not walk it away, force staff away.
Yeah. So definitely options. Spirit Breaker, he is someone we see go a bunch of different items, sometimes own, sometimes he's a team's medallion carrier, maybe eventually getting that into Solar Crest. What do you prefer here?
CBKB, just trying to find the co-op or probably the Witch Doctor as the game goes on in fights. Down, run through the rest of them. Or you could also opt for like an early Vlad's to buff your team up and up your fighting potential early. Mostly just go of the game and how they feel it's rolling as to which item they feel is best.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. So now on a Bane, we've seen Glimmer Capes aplenty on this guy. He's actually going to be their own carrier. Oh, Papa Ross, indeed. Thank you, Kaiser, for dropping that to us all. Bane, probably a Glimmer Cape after this, I imagine.
Possibly. Again, same logic. You can go for a force to help your team out. Maybe even go for blink yourself. That would be better than a blink. More versatile. And there's a lot of cancels on GB, just in general.
Yeah.
Opt for a BKB, but I feel like that's greedy. They have multiple ways to cancel anyway.
Mm-hmm. Although Omni Slash no longer does that mini stun, we've actually seen, I know the mini stun was removed recently, of course, in the history of Dota, but I feel like I've seen a couple players still using the Omni Slash to try to cancel TPs.
Like in Baron for so long that you just do at times. Like, and then your team says afterwards, you know why that didn't work, right? I'm like, yeah, I forgot. You played Dota for 10 years and Omni Slash has always cancelled TPs and you're in the moment, it just happens, right?
Yeah.
Really mess with your head, honestly, those changes. The hero regularly, like if it's just once every now and again when your captain thinks good and you play it and you're not the ball on the hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these things, always rough. Now, first off, going to be coming out on the Clockwork. I feel like it's a decent Blade Mail game. It's actually a pretty good... I don't think anybody has the capacity to build it, but this game is actually a pretty good Crimson God game, I think. Just because you've got Windrunner with Focus Fire and all the illusions coming out of Darkseer, but I don't think it's worth it for anyone here to go it since we don't have any people who would be like, yeah, I would love a Vanguard.
Very long time since I bugs go for Vanguard, so...
I don't believe it's a thing anymore. I think it's much better to have the utility items, to have a full staff or a blade mail. Blade mail certainly can do some work potentially against the Darkseer here, although it's kind of funny. It's one of the things where if Darkseer uses his wall vacuum combo, even if he dies, I don't think he minds too much afterwards. Yeah, he might have some more utility, but you're not getting 2 vacuums off in a fight unless the fight is unreasonably long, so...
Yeah, I think the reason he'll opt for Force this game is mostly just utility of it, being able to one target, cog them in maybe, then maybe find the Bane if you didn't dehook that target, run at them with Battery Assault. I think this game is not as effective.
Yep. I will agree on that. Now we have another Roshan. The Rocket immediately scouts it. They actually were smoked up for this, and now Kaiser's smoke is broken as well. Probably neither team actually going to fight here. Very many memories.
They didn't go. They were
on
so
Golden
split.
Boys?
Yeah, you saw like 2 heroes running
Hookshot
this way.
was down. Like how are they meant to initiate?
That will explain everything then. I just kind of assumed it was up. My bad,
No, I
my
think
bad.
they smoked, hoping that they could get in closer, and no such luck. And then, of course, Hookshot being down. How are you meant to initiate without that guy? So, a little unfortunate. Not going to be able to seal the deal. Both teams have a bunch of smokes left, though, so it's not like they can't give it a go again. And HR, of course, this is a play that they would love to make. They're smoked up again. I don't believe this ward saw it, so... Oh, are they going for their own smoke, though? No, they're just getting charged out. There are a bunch of supports here, and now they're going to end up as 5. They're going to smoke and have it immediately. What?
Oh, it
Wait,
cancels
that
it? I never
breaks
knew
the
that.
smoke? Holy, I mean, that breaks the charge. We've got a weird play by Shackle, but they've got a nice Shackle coming out. Now here comes the Death Ward, doing a lot of work, and its life is probably just going to fall here. They've got 2, and suddenly this team fight very much looking like it's in Golden Boy's favor. They go for a charge. He manages to stun a bunch. Can he sacrifice his life on Yojitsu to get the rest away? It looks like he's going to just turn invisible casually. He's under a sentry, though, and Bane goes down as well. So a 4-0. Golden Boys taking that fight dominantly, and now they can try for Roshan. I didn't know that cancelled charge either.
No, that's me, honestly. I presumed going.
I did too, but I guess you lose vision of them and you can't detect it. It's not like Invis, so funky new interactions that we've learnt about. It isn't a play I've seen before. I've never seen a charged unit. He might also have cancelled it, realizing the smoke. It's really hard to tell. But we have
No,
folks...
I think it instantly cancelled. Like, it would be very...
Yeah, I don't think they can contest this Roshan. Ninja would need to go in now, but he's
they're
gonna go
close.
in too late. He's gonna... Oh, I thought he was maybe gonna go for the power shot or something. He's gonna get one off. They managed to put the Wyvern on the high ground, but that's one of the few who can get back down. Just uses that Arctic Bone. We've got a nice little stun coming out onto Thug, and the hook shot missing again. Thug is gonna take quite a few auto attacks. Power shot doesn't hit, and now maybe next time's in the danger zone. We've got Yujitsu killing off Thug. Gonna fall, gonna use that Aegis, but the rest of them, they're in the pit. A beautiful Shackle coming out from Ninja, but she needs to run, because Thug is back up and ready to fight. The Wyvern on the high ground, gonna be killed finally by the auto attacks, but Shackle getting very low. The Witch Doctor has died, but everybody falling to the spin. Oh, its life should be able to get the kill here on Kaiser, but still a really weird engagement. Skylark is trying to go in instead. Ninja just walking around him. Skylark, he's gonna get Fiend scripted up, and suddenly HR are the ones taking the 4 out on Golden Boys. They actually technically get 5 because of the respawn. At the same time, they do end up losing 2 of their heroes, and this game very back and forth very quickly. The Roshan advantage almost completely gone after that fight.
2 things to point out about that fight were obviously the missed hook deal, because Pop got like a lot of damage there and ended up blinking back and eventually dying because of it. Also, Block had forced the entire time the Jug was like fighting in the pit. I feel like he could easily have forced him like onto the high ground this way and at least saved his life. Because he did like both of those things didn't really happen. The went no back to that fight, and HI just cut their spells off. Full duration Fiend's Grip at the end of the fight. Ended up securing the kill, unlike when they were fighting in the jungle and it got a really lucky coconut.
Yep. So
Loaded Dax around the pit.
yeah, even though only one of those vacuums I would say was fantastic to the high ground, it's still not. I mean, it still really ruined the positioning. The Wyvern maybe wasn't feeling as strong. Can they land this hook shot? They know Nujitsu's invisible, and they just have sentries for him all over the place. He is dead. This is not the first time. I mean, he was probably in a bad spot, but maybe a potential to charge away instead of trying to use that invis, although it's very hard against coconuts and battery assault.
I think as soon as the Clockwork spots you, you have to kind of assume he can hit the hook and you're charging. I'm sure he can, so you have to try and juke and jive at that point. It just becomes awkward. They're just probably in a bad position in the first place.
Yep. Juggernaut has finished up his Battle Fury. He actually had it before the last team fight, and it was just sitting in his stash because of how long the fight was and the gold he was getting. Wyvern does have a Winter's Curse active, so Golden Boy is feeling very confident with this push up top.
Yeah, HR opting for the split instead. I don't think they can actually fight into them very well right now. Ward's super relevant. Sure, Death Ward's on cooldown right now, but ulti, Wyvern ulti. It's just huge deterrence, and they're even opting to defend here.
Yeah, a bit greedy to try to get both, I think. They might end up getting punished. The Wyvern uses the Splinter Blast, and there's no way you're going to deny that, so felt a bit safer to get the top tower, and now there's a charge coming out onto Thug with the immediate invis. They've actually got sentries down, so once again, your Jitsu has to be careful of his positioning.
They both get out, away from this ladder. DP's map fairly well. Obviously being a favourable exchange with a tier 2 for tier 1. Joe gets his space to farm.
And Golden Boys, despite the bit of a bad Roshan team fight, they're working their way back up, extending their gold lead further and further, albeit most of it just off of the back of that one team fight where they killed off 4 members of HR in their own jungle of the interesting smoke engagement. I hear a hookshot, one that's finally gonna latch. He's got a DD as well. Goddamn is falling here, and that is not what you want on the Bane, but it's better Bane than another target.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, and I completely missed that. She started to take a little bit of damage, and then she dropped down to almost 0. Must have been a bash or something as well.
That's the problem with the Orchid, you're just so squishy. And because you're squishy at one point, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna try and remedy this. He picks up Mel, but his people's probably like 1.2, 1.3. Not even that effective at this point. It's just,
yeah, there's
like,
definitely...
nightmare to have Orchid at this point. I feel like you're probably regretting it.
There's definitely something to be said for just getting yourself some raw HP. Effective HP is, of course, increased by picking up armor, but you're still very squishy when compared to stuff like the Ion Shell and Power Shot.
I feel like this is the quad build most people are going to these days, and I feel like it phases in and out really weirdly. A few months ago, Orchid was really like shunned. I feel like you'd always go Ags, and if you ever saw Orchid in the game, you were like, okay, this pop's losing the game. Just went for Orchid, and now it's really phasing back in a bit. Maybe it's just the players, like, you know, they see it done and they think kind of the only way to play the hero. I'm not too sure. This game is just, he's on top of the board for sure, and it's working out in theory, but he's super squishy.
They're gonna get the latch onto Goddamn, but we also have a gank going down on bottom. It looks like Thug is gonna fall again, and we're gonna see up top, they even drop the Death Ward, but that is your mid laner for your opponent's support, who is bottom of the net worth chart.
It's really nice trade. Surprised they're able to find the co-op sometimes. It just hurts so much.
They've done a really good job. That was a smoke gank that they did down in this bottom lane, and they have a really aggressive ward up. It might get dewarded, probably having some idea on Golden Boys that co-op shouldn't have been found out so easily there, but they might just chalk it up to it being a smoke, and it's a Shadow Blade on the Spirit Breaker. I was really expecting the Glimmer Cape.
Shadow Blade's really good with how the pace of the game is for them at the moment. The map's so open when there's so many towers falling, and they've been having a lot of sentries for the Shadow Amulet beforehand, but you only had to worry about those when you actually saw the hero. Now it's like the Witch Doctor's going to be super poor if he invests into going to Sentry plus Ward choke point, so you see when he's moving around the map. He opts to do that.
For the lineup of Golden Boys, this Wyvern has a 4-staff. I actually maybe would have preferred a Yule's. I understand the Clockwork going the 4-staff. Sometimes you need to hookshot in, place the cogs, 4-staff, split up the enemy team, and then 4-staff yourself to safety. And maybe the Wyvern can help out with that, but I definitely would have liked another way of stopping the Fiend script, because it feels like other than Lucky Coconuts, Winter's Curse, and of course what Clockwork has in his toolkit, you're not stopping a Fiend script. And
yeah,
Clockwork's
generally not going to be up either for that.
Yeah, and same with the hookshot. Like, you're not going to use hookshot to stop a Fiend's grip. Maybe cogs, but you blow those quite early in a fight often, and they both have pretty long cooldowns. So, I mean, you might get off 2 cogs in a team fight if you're lucky. Until you get Ags, not getting off 2 hookshots for sure.
Sometimes, like, especially with the Yule's nerf, you're not in position to be able to counter anyway. If he's around the trees, like using fog or something, 4-staff can counter it, like, well, but if you force them away from the heroes that are hitting them, it helps a bit, and it's just a generally more versatile item. I think it's just better in most cases, and it's also cheaper to put together.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. It's certainly more reasonable for a support to get it. Now, they have a potentially fantastic gank on bottom line. Its life has been hiding behind here for quite a while, but the Windrunner and the Bane seem to have no interest in returning home.
I don't think there's any way they can fight. I like the idea of trying to pick one off. Taking a fight when they're not quite ready is 5 heroes.
I just like the wraparound play. I think they could have made something happen there. Unfortunately, as you pointed out, it was really rough, and the immediate smoke up from HR probably going to pick out whoever comes out here to farm. It's something that I think a lot of teams will expect someone to maybe be lurking around, but after, you know, if they wait here in this smoke for quite a while, although you're starting to give it away, the fact that nobody has TP'd home. Oh, no one's TP'd home to farm this, no one's TP'd home to farm that.
Yeah, I think as you say, it's really nice idea in this attempt. If you show one hero top lane, they might be scared it's going to. Generally, like, maybe the Quap would be the one going top, and she's died several times if she's split up. But if you do show the Quap top, then someone's probably going to push out bottom, and then that play will higher chance of working. And he's just reading into it.
It is a near max length respawn timer on Roshan.
I think that's going to favor HR.
Yeah?
They're definitely at the point where if they get Roche, they can high ground.
Agreed, and they smoke up after dewarding one of the Radiant wards. We've also got Baby Crit picked up on Windrunner, I think is the newest item, and then Jug just finishing his Manta style, as you can see there. So he is starting to hit harder. He's getting a little bit of health. He probably... Actually, BKB this game, not that great. He doesn't stop any... Yeah.
Yeah, it's good against the Crush, I guess, and...
It helps against all of Darkseer's toolkit. It's good against the Crush, as you said, but you can still actually... Bash is magical, I think. No, it's physical, never mind. All of Starladder's toolkit is physical, of course. Sorry, my mistake. It doesn't help against...
Magical, I guess, but...
Yeah, Spirit Breaker's Bash.
True.
Oh goodness, we've got a Slithering Crush, gonna be out onto 2, and that's a surprise. BKB, maybe next time, gonna take a Shackle, and a beautiful wall as well. Can they turn it around? Shanks goes in, Skanks goes in, managed to get off the coconuts, but they've lost Jug, they've lost Wyvern, and Skylark, what are you doing in there? He's gonna fall too. Suddenly, Golden Boys are on the back foot, and Thug couldn't even get in there to use more than his Shivas.
That's just bad positioning from the Wyvern, I think. When you're that far up, and you're the one getting caught out, it's like the worst scenario possible for them. Now HR are going to be able to capitalize on that and probably take a tier 2.
Yeah, should be easy peasy for the Windrunner with the Baby Crit, since she has her Ags up, and we can see Aff and NJ working through that tower really quickly. This Juggernaut's kind of been underwhelming in my opinion so far.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Mostly just can't man fight right now with his items. HR has like a lot of minus armor, the Bane. He has 1 level in Feeble, so maybe he's been using that, I'm not too sure when he actually picked it up. He just can't man fight right now, so his net worth's really inflated in terms of how you look at it.
Yeah, it does feel like he's got a whole bunch of stuff and then a whole lot of nothing. They actually cancel the charge, but can they turn around on this? I don't think this is going to work. They get off a really nice Winter's Curse. They're going to channel the Death Ward, but it's immediately cancelled by the Shackle Shot. And now its live is getting a little bit of damage on him. A Hook Shot comes out. Can they push Aff and NJ back? But no, they don't have any sort of cogs. Charge coming out on him. Vacuum all of them to the high ground, and they're stuck up there. They should be able to... I think they can get down now, out through here. Yeah, they have to fall in the creep wave first, but that is the end of that, and so just a Bane for all of this nice setup coming out of Golden Boys. What a nice vacuum from the Darkseer.
And he's also sitting on 4k, which is a lot of money.
A lot of the members of the Dire had been surprisingly rich. We also saw Quap must have bought out a piece of something.
The Shivas, right? The Quap.
Nothing else on the courier? Doesn't look like it, so just finishing the Shivas for her, but Windrunner also had at one point about 3k gold, and now back down to, you know, just a more normal 2k.
Dexter opting for the Blink Force, so he's really mobile right now.
It's really helpful in a lot of these engagements, right? Because you can force stuff in, or Blink Dagger in, force stuff out. Win-win.
It makes doing things like that vacuum, which saved them from losing 1 or 2 more heroes at least, so much easier. Force being able to save your team as well is just tough.
Yeah, helping out your team. Always something where if they're stuck in the cogs, you just force stealth them out. I'm not sure if Skanks is going to go down here. Coconut's on cooldown for 1 more second, but if he can throw it, he should be able to get lucky bounces here on these creeps, but he can't seem to use it. He has to throw it. He's not getting the bounces. He's immediately popped the Death Ward, and the Omni Slash comes out as well. Skanks' life is saved, although Kaiser using Omni Slash for a... I mean, he got the kill.
That's worth it. I don't think they're going to look to fight now into an Aegis anyway, so they're quite happy to expend their ults. Whatever they can. Might even deter HR from pushing. Spirit Breaker's... I wouldn't say it's like really crucial part of your lineup, but it's a form of initiation and fighting. It looks like they're confident enough to get the tier 2. Or at least try for it while DB are split pushing lanes.
And I think you can just go for this, although as you said, maybe they're a bit worried about the initiation. Hookshot is on cooldown. Clockwork also making good progress towards his Aghanim Scepter. I think that's something that could be huge potentially for Golden Boys. The Aghanim Scepter on Clock means you are getting it off maybe twice in a fight, especially with how these ones have been going. And I think that should help give them an edge, especially with goddamn. They've silenced up Afa Ninja, but Thug immediately stunned up, has popped the Shivas, Winter's Curse comes out, and Thug should be able to get off a Sonic Wave, but not using it yet. Holding it, where is the Sonic Wave? You could use it to kill off Afa Ninja, goes for it, and now Skylark hookshotting onto goddamn. Will they be able to kill off this Bane, and will they be able to... Oh, the Coconut's bouncing perfectly. Shackler still being stunned. Here comes the charge out of Jiu-Jitsu. He's going to use that Nether Strike. Thug is going down again. Darkseer is down. Afa Ninja is back, and we'll see whether she can use that Focus Fire up and get anything else. We've got a kill on the backlines on the Clockwork and Afa Ninja. Hello, Windrunner. It very well could be.
On the 2 claws.
We could be seeing HR pulling their way back into this game.
Radiant's middle tower
I think like it's just they itemized to try and split push, and I think Kaiser was doing the right thing. He'd have went towards the tier 3 instead to try and maybe force them back. Opposed to just trying to fight them at the tier 2, which is just a lot more unfavorable than fighting on your high ground.
Yeah, and that is going to be 1 Rax. The ranged Rax will be left standing as all of HR end up retreating. I also feel like perhaps going for a fighting build would have been a bit better. The fact that they took a number of unfavorable engagements, I have to imagine Jug would have survived longer if he had gone... Oh, and a Blink Dagger now too. If he had gone Assange and Yasha.
I think like they had a really good start. The buff was up, the Jug was up. Could have opted for the fighting route. At least on one note, I think both of them going for this is kind of a problem. If Jug went for these items and the had being ag, so he had the deterrent of a level on a 40-second cooldown, been a lot better, and they could actually opt to split push with the Jug and have the buff. Now it's like you don't have that option.
Yeah. We can see about a 5,000 net worth lead coming out for HL suddenly. Usually you get a bit more off the back of a Rax, but such is life. And also the heroes are going to be having a lot more farm on them. Full Solar Crest on Spirit Breaker along with that Shadow Blade. This guy's going to be hard to pick off just because he's got an escape mechanism and he's got evasion now and is a bit more tankier. And Darkseer also just picking up that Ghost Scepter. You can try to Omni Slash him. It's not going to care.
Unless he's already CC'd, but yeah.
And it goes Scepter on Windrunner too. It's not one we see as often.
That might be a tiny bit excessive. I guess.
Well, in her defense,
Ward,
Windrun doesn't block. Yeah, it doesn't block Death Ward. It doesn't block Omni Slash. It blocks
Oh,
the
it
attacks
does,
in
it
Omni
does.
Slash. No, it doesn't block Omni Slash. We've been over this. It does block the attacks, but Thug has got the Nether Strike onto him. We got Coconuts. They're not bouncing though, and there's gonna be a stun. Skylark, I don't think that the Shackle doesn't even need it. Jiu-Jitsu is gonna fall, but again, you've lost Clockwork for a support Spirit Breaker. Okay, I'm pretty sure it doesn't Omni Slash.
No, it 100% blocks it. It is physical hits from Omni, and Death Ward is also
But
physical hit, so it blocks it.
it doesn't block the Omni Slash because it doesn't count as physical hits. It only blocks physical attacks on Windrunner's Windrun.
I am 100% sure. I have seen Jugs in pubs Omni Slash into Run, and it does not. I'm 100%.
I'm pretty sure I just checked that interaction, but one of us is wrong, and we'll have egg on our face. It might be me, it might
I know
be you.
I'm right about the Death Ward. I know about that, for sure. But I'm 100% sure on the Jug thing as well in my mind. So
With Windrun? Because I know Blade, of course, since it blocks all physical damage.
yeah, you can't.
Not
like,
Blade, sorry, Ghost Scepter.
in-
No
If
point
it
to wait. Are
doesn't-
we gonna see another game like last one? Okay, we're back into the team fight. I think Golden Boy is probably going to back out. Oh no, they're going straight in. They've got the Blink Dagger. They really want a deep Winter's Curse. After Ninja working on Shackler, and there is the Omni slash Ethereal. Oh, Ghost Scepter not going to answer our question. Shackler might fall here, but the curse and just critted to death. Holy cow, After Ninja hits like a truck on the Slithering Curse. They might be able to get Thug as well. Cold Embrace coming out. Should be able to blink right out of this, but the Shackle set up, and Thug is upset, I'm sure, with maybe next time right now. They may have just lost themselves a Rax and be forced into a game 3. Shacklo gonna be chasing down maybe next time with the loss of it, and yeah, Cold Embrace is gonna delay the inevitable. Ion Shell working on that. So this is another. Yeah.
Shit.
That's another. That should be another set of. This should finish off the mid rack, so they should be able to get another one, I believe, just because of the buyback status.
Yeah, which means game 3, which puts us all in an awkward position, right?
Yeah, I'll check with the admins what the plan is to make sure Starladder starts on time and figure out where exactly will be needed. So it might be something where we cast the end of this game and then have to cast the first game off of Dota TV. But yeah, I think Golden Boys, can they get back into this game?
It's possible, but it's highly unlikely.
Skylark just hookshotted to Skanks.
Yeah, that's probably just, yeah, I think we've lost.
Does he have the Ags up yet? I don't think he did,
No,
because
not
of...
quite.
Well, I think he had to buy back, which lost
He
him the
lost
gold.
money. I don't
No,
actually-
he
oh,
bought
no,
back.
yeah, he did buy back.
Okay.
Now I have to worry about microing a Starladder again to finish the game. This is like stressful, honestly.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
you can completely lose this game on tilt just because of stress like this, I think. Highly unlikely though.
I don't know what's the correct plan here, just because Golden Boys, they've got some itemization which should help them.
I think the pop itemization's just like clunky. Get into Shivas is very weird this game, I feel like. I feel like you should know you want to be fighting, and splitting up against HR with like multiple cores is very... How I said earlier, I kind of liked the idea that they had a game plan where they push one lane, Jug would try and farm up maybe the woods and push another lane, but HR just have the heroes to punish that. Like, 2 of your heroes are dedicating to split pushing, your other core is Clockwork, who wants to be like counter-initiating or fighting. It's counterintuitive, I think.
Yeah. So, and we've got an easy... Oh, goodness, look at this. Roshan melt, amp damage, crits. Goodbye, Roshan. And this one, gonna be some tasty, tasty cheese as well. So, HR doing good work towards a 3rd game.
Do you think Sladder's gonna get the medallion treatment on Roche? Where it's
What's the
half?
Medallion?
Yeah, instead of it applying the full.
As next patch is a like nerf to him, I have no idea. I don't even know if they'll end up nerfing Slaughter or just changing up other heroes. So
I just feel like that helped one thing.
also, by the way, I was totally right about Omni Slash. Just saying.
Okay, well, it's still a small amount of damage.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, I do still think it's overkill on the Windrunner. I think we all agree that the Ghost Scepter was a bit strange, but just really wants to make sure she's not taking any of that. And it could be something where she's worried about getting isolated out. They've got the charge onto Kaiser. I don't know if they can follow this up with anything. He, of course, does have Omni Slash here, but can't use it on Shocklow since he has a Ghost Scepter as well.
Yeah, the entire team. Minus the Sladder. Who can't buy anything, actually.
Yes, that's another thing. We talked about it last game.
Yeah.
Your
That's how
teammates
they
don't
come
get the
back.
gold.
They do.
What, that the Slaughter can't buy? No, your teammates don't get the gold. So you know in pub games when someone's abandoned, you get the gold split. It doesn't happen that way in professional matches. Ninja only has this Aegis for another 3.5 minutes, and by only, that's a good amount of time. I wouldn't be surprised to see another Rax go down.
Considering this is a 12k net worth Sladder, because 6k is on his hero, unbought, not in items at all. This is maybe like the one chance GB have, because he will fall off extremely quickly.
They're just using the Slaughter to be there. Like, he's a moving ward with a Vanguard. He's gonna take a Splinter Blast and run at them with his sprint. Like, I mean, this is your DC hero, and Windrunner just going for it. He eats the Omni Slash. App and Ninja can pop that Ghost Scepter, but doesn't care. Actually, maybe wants to go down. His tank a Windrunner. We've got a hookshot onto Goddamn in the back line, and the Windrunner about to come back up. The vacuum is not used yet, and there's gonna be a charge through to all of them. They're locking down Kaiser, and oh goodness, this team fight, it is so huge. Clockwork has brought back. We've got a Death Ward bouncing around. App and Ninja kills off the Witch Doctor, though. You don't need to stop the channel if you just kill the hero, and there's gonna be a Fiend's Grip on Thug and a Cold Embrace. That's a funky interaction. They force stop him into the hookshot. Thug is gonna fall. Skylark, I think, is gonna be next. App and Ninja has to be careful, though. This is his second life, and I think they've got it on the lineup of HR. How do you defend against this? They still haven't actually gotten the tower. They should wonder, okay, they should be able to get through. And the wall placement maybe not the best, but it looks like it did enough, and I don't think Golden Boys has it against Megas.
No, so this will mean Game 3 with a really convincing team fight coming up from HR. It's one of those where when you use Wyvern ulti on the Aegis target, and then your Death Ward kind of in the middle of the fight getting cancelled fairly quickly. Hook going on the Bane, just really locking him down at correct points. Was not going to win the team fight for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, and HR down a player again for the second time. Managing
Less
to make
relevant
it.
this game though.
Yeah, they were too wrecked down before. Live or Olive was down. It's Live O, sorry, or it's Live O. We're gonna see about chatting with the admin. I don't know if we're going to a game 3